Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to go over all of my God tier reads. Now these are books that I've rated over 5 stars, so these are not like just your average 5-star book. So these are all the books that have quite literally changed my whole entire life. So the first book that I wanted to mention in this video is Right Move by Tomforde. This is part of a interconnected standalone series called Windy City. This is amazing, okay? So this follows our two main characters, Ryan and Indy. Ryan is a captain of the NBA team and he finds out that his sister's best friend is going to be moving into his apartment with him. Now, he does not get along with her at first. He finds her like really annoying, doesn't really like her habits and stuff like that. So then basically the general manager accuses Ryan of him being like a really moody guy. So he decides to fake date Indy to make himself basically look better for the team and make his overall image look better, and obviously the story just unfolds from there. This has some of the best forced proximity that I've ever read about. If you're looking for a spicy romance interconnected standalone series that is also sports related and has forced proximity, every single one of these books you will probably love. My tabs are looking really cool as well, and yeah, I definitely do want to read the rest of the series as well. The next book that we have is also a sports romance. This is called Long Shot. So this follows our two main characters, August and Iris, and they basically meet at a bar for the first time. They instantly hit it off, okay? You can literally tell from the first conversation that they have together, these two are quite literally soulmates. Like, they just click instantly, and I loved reading their first interaction together. But then unfortunately we do find out that she actually has a boyfriend who is not treating her very well, and the story basically unfolds from there. This is a really emotional one, but oh my god, it's such a beautiful love story. You absolutely have to read the entirety of this book because this story is so beautiful. There are 2 more books in this interconnected standalone series that I'm yet to get to, but I absolutely have to because this was quite literally everything that I've been looking for in like an emotional sort of sports romance book. Next we are going to jump into the best series that I've probably ever read in my whole entire life, and that is the Boys of Tommen series. It is classed as a contemporary romance, but there are very dark themes and topics in this series, but oh my god, every single book is perfection. This is set in Ireland and each book follows different characters. So Binding 13, the bottom one, follows Johnny and Shannon. And then we have, that one also follows Johnny and Shannon keeping 13. And then we have Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, which follow Joey and Aoife. We have Timing 7, which follows Gibbsy and Claire, and Releasing 10, which follows Lizzie and Huey. I have actually not read this one yet. I absolutely have to get to it because I am obsessed with this series. It just turned out that when this was released, I got in like a huge slump and then never actually ended up finishing the series. Specifically Keeping 13, which is the second book in Johnny and Shannon's story. This was amazing. I mean, you can even tell by the tabs. Like, I have tabbed the fuck out of this because it was just such an emotional and beautiful story. Redeeming 6 was probably my other favourite of the series. So in the first 2 books that follow Johnny and Shannon, Johnny is a rugby player and Shannon is a very quiet girl who lives in an extremely abusive household, and she is going to a new high school for the first time where she meets Johnny. And then obviously we have Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, which are the 3rd and 4th books of the series. These follow Joey and Aoife. Joey is essentially a drug addict and Aoife is his girlfriend. These two, if I had to pick, I would probably say that Joey and Aoife's story did feel more special to me. I really love this story, and it's so intense, so emotional. the way that Aoife helps Joey in these books is just insane. Like, she's such an amazing woman and Joey is such a sweetheart. I can't even look at this series genuinely without wanting to fucking sob and throw up and go absolutely insane, because it just makes me so emotional. Even talking about the series is making me so emotional. Like, I fear I might have to move on because it's gonna kill me off, low-key. Please, please, please read this series. So next we are going to be moving on to my dark romance books. Now, this is where I will get really, really excited, because I have actually been in my dark romance era massively recently. I have actually just finished this series, and that is the Legacy of God series by Rina, and I had an amazing time. This is the first series that I've actually read by Rina, but I loved every single one of these books. I actually loved. I will be picking out 2 of them, which are my God tier books of the series. So the first one is God of Wrath. I also forgot to mention that all of these books are obviously dark romance and they do follow very dark themes, so be sure to check your trigger warnings. They also have like a mafia element to them, which I really, really love as well. I love a good dark mafia romance book series. This one follows Jeremy and Cecily. And we learn like throughout this series that up until this 3rd book that Cecily is like a mom figure. She's like can do no wrong. She's like such a good girl kind of vibes and stuff like this. Like teacher's pet kind of thing, you know, she's studying for psychology. And we have Jeremy, who quite literally turns her world upside down. Now this, oh my god, I actually just said that without even... I just said that and it says it on the back of the book. He'll flip the world upside down. I promise you right now that that's literally what came to my head and it's on the back of the book. That's insane. I personally thought this was God tier because of certain specific scenes in this book that live in my head rent free. I loved the way that Jeremy talked to Cecily in this book. I thought that his communication, the way that he spoke, there was just something so, even though obviously these characters are very morally grey and morally black, there's just something so like lovely about the way that he spoke about Cecily sometimes, and I just absolutely devoured this book up. Okay, so I actually thought that that was going to be my favourite. I was like, yeah, like nothing's going to beat God of Wrath, nothing will be better than God of Wrath, until I read God of War. Now, oh my god, I literally put this book down and I was like, holy shit, this might be the best book that I've ever read in my entire life. This follows Ava and Eli, and basically the premise of this one is that she wakes up in hospital and she completely forgets 2 years of her life. Okay, this is really interesting. She completely forgets 2 years of her life, but within that 2 years she actually married Eli, and she can't even remember how the marriage happened. She can't remember marrying him because at this point she like completely hates him. We do find out that she did indeed marry Eli in these 2 years, so we're just uncovering why and how that happened, and it does go into past tense as well, which was quite different. I really, really enjoyed that. The reason why this is God tier for me is that I related to Ava on such a level that can't even be explained. Like Cecily, I related to her, but Ava even more. The way that Eli like looks after her and stuff in this book is so sweet. That's why this is literally my favourite, because I think that he's just the most caring, morally black guy. I was absolutely obsessed with this book. I still am. Every time I look at it, I just want to sob and I just want to scream. Also, the found family in this whole series, if you're looking for a dark romance book series with found family, this is what you want to read, because the way that all the characters like come together is so good, and I love like how everything just wrapped up. It was just such an amazing series, and I don't think that I will ever stop thinking about it. So the next series that I wanted to talk about is the Edge of Darkness trilogy by Leigh Rivers. Now this trilogy, so good. In this story we are following Cade and Stacey, and it's basically a dark second chance romance. We go from like past to present and find out different things and what happened in the past. I really don't want to say too much about these because I went in blind and I had like the best experience ever, so I would really recommend that you do that. The things that I felt reading these, specifically the second book, Voracious, I sobbed. There is a video of me on TikTok just sobbing to this book because it was so upsetting and so heartbreakingly beautiful. I don't even know how to explain to you guys. I remember when I first picked up this series, I was hooked from the very start. I could not put this book down. I absolutely love this series. Even though the romance itself is quite dark and like the smutty scenes are dark and stuff, the darkest aspects of these books are actually like what the characters are going through outside of the relationship and like the whole plot and the different characters, because it does go into quite like graphic detail about sexual assault and abuse and different things like that. I assure you, you are going to love this series if you read dark romance. The last of my god tier books are actually the Shatter series. Now this is currently the only fantasy that I have on my god tier. This series, I got through all of these books. I think there's like 9, but I got through them all within a week. I felt like a saddo, but I didn't care because I was eating all of this up. And this follows Juliet and Aaron Warner, and basically Juliet goes into an asylum because she has been found out that her touch can kill people. That's all I'm going to tell you. I think that you will have the best experience reading this if you don't know much about the series. Some people don't actually like the first book or the second one, and they tend to say that things kind of speed up from the third book. However, I pretty much loved all of these. My favourites out of the series, which are my standalone god tiers, are Ignite Me because this book, the romance in this book was top tier. I also have Defy Me. I absolutely loved this book. It was so sad and it was so packed full of like, it was just basically complete and utter roller coaster. This book sent me through. Like, this was insane reading this. I have such a strong memory of me reading this series for the first time. It felt so magical, it felt so atmospheric, and I was just completely and utterly obsessed. So that is it for my god tier books that I have so far since I've started my reading journey. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, I know for a fact that I'm going to be able to find some more. I have so many books on my TBR that I know for a fact have the chance of entering into my god tier list. So I may have to do an updated video on my god tier books like next year or something like that and see how it's changed. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure that you give this a thumbs up and also subscribe, and comment down below as well what your god tier books are, because I would really like to look through those and see if we have any comparisons. Bye.